All right, so this is 10 Skills Volume 2. So you should have this worksheet available to you in Schoology if you are watching this video and you're not in my class. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. You can do a lot of these things on your own, but if you need the worksheet, then we can try to figure out a way to do that. So, but everybody else that should have this available in Schoology. So, go back over here, and that's fine. I'll stay on that side. Okay, so couple of things here. Place the ribbon symbol in the box. Now, what are symbols? That's a great question. I'm so glad you asked. So symbols are little things that you can drop into a document. You can create your own, and it makes it really easy to kind of have these. A lot of people have these pre-built things that they can just use and drop in. So there's advantages to them. So let's see, they've got some of them that are already built into the program, so let's take a look at it. Now, I know where this is because I was messing with it earlier. This is my symbols right here, the little puppy dog feet, the little club icon there, right? So that brings up my symbols panel. However, if you can't find this and you don't see it on your page, first off, make sure that you have gone to Window Workspace, and we were doing this under Painting. But the other thing is, if you go to Window, anytime you're looking at all of these things over to the side that are your swatches panel and your stroke panel and your gradient panel and all that stuff, just about always you'll be able to find that under the Window section. So I'm going to go to Window and then go down to Symbols down there at the bottom, and that brings up my Symbols panel. Okay, if I go up there now, Window, Symbols, there's a check mark next to it. If I click on it, it will go away. All right, so just kind of keep that in mind. So I'm going to click on my symbols to open this up, and it says to do the ribbon symbol. So if I hover over these, there is one that says ribbon, and all I got to do is just click. I'm holding the mouse right here, and I'm dragging it over there, and I just drop it, right, and it falls right in place there. The next is part of this is to create a symbol using the image in the box and name it smile. So I'm going to select all of that because we already learned anything we do, we first have to select it because that's just how the world works. So select it, and then you'll notice in the symbols panel there's a little trash can right there. That would be to delete a symbol, and then right next to it is a plus sign to make a new symbol. So we're going to click that one. Click new symbol, and we're going to name it smile. And I will say also, if you're, just make sure if this ever comes up like on a credential test or anything like that, make sure that you are spelling things correctly and that you are capitalizing, because a lot of times on those credential tests it is case sensitive, right? Not just on this type of thing but on other things also. So I'm not worried about this other stuff. I'm going to leave all this the way it is, and I'm just going to hit OK. And now I have created a symbol, right? And I can do just like I did with the other one, and I can just bring it up there and drop that in place. Okay, so I'm going to do Control Z to get rid of those because that's all I need. So when I grade this, I'm going to look at the symbols thing and make sure that you've put that in there. Okay, wrap the text around the object. So in order to do this, first thing I have to do, I have to select it. And so just like we did on last time, I can either do click and drag to have both of them, or I can click, and if I click on something else, I'm going to click on this circle just so you can see it. I click on something else and it deselects the other one. Well, I didn't want that. I wanted to select both of them. So hold down Shift. All right. If I hold down Shift, and I'm going to do my words here. If I hold down Shift, it adds to my selection. I don't think it got that. You can tell what's selected by the blue outline. Yes, that should have everything there. Okay. All right. So I need to wrap the text around the object. Well, now, and look, if you don't know where that might be, a lot of Illustrator is also just trying to figure out where things are. It's very intuitive, right? There's a lot of buttons, but once you understand kind of how the program works, you can kind of follow along with it better. So wrap the text around the object. Well, I might be messing with something up here with the object, right? Up here in the top. I need to move myself again. Sorry. So right up here at the top, it says object. All right. And that is object text wrap make. So what this is going to do, it's going to make it where the words wrap around that object. Imagine that being a picture, and I want, yes, that's fine. Imagine I want the picture wrapping around those words. Okay, so wrap the text around the object. That's what it should look like. Number 4 is, make an object have a radial gradient from white to orange. Now here again, if you don't know where your gradient panel is, if I go to Window and then go to Gradient, I'm not going to click it because it is already highlighted, and I know that because it's over here. Okay, so I'm going to select my object, and I want to have a radial gradient. Now, I'll pull my gradient panel out so you can see what it does. So radial gradient, and if I just click on this, this is linear, so it goes from one side to the other. And if I go over one more, I see that there's a choice to do radial, so radial being circular. And then I can do, there is another one. We're not worried about it. Good, excuse me, sorry, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, daylight savings time and all that. I apologize for yawning. So it says to change the color from white to orange. So I've got it selected, and this little slider here, you can add colors to this if you want to. You can, I just did Control Z to go back because I don't want to do that. And you can also double click. So if I double click on this, I can change the color to orange. All right. Lots of other stuff you can do with the gradient tool. I have posted some of that. I've got a video dedicated just to that. You can check it out. Clipping mask. Okay, so clipping mask. In order to do clipping mask, you have to have both things selected. I've got one thing selected here, and I'm going to select both of them. And then all you got to do for clipping mask, which is a fantastic tool that will get you out of a lot of situations. Clipping mask is basically you want to cut out a section. You want to, maybe I've got a custom shape that I've drawn out, and I want to be able to remove just that piece. There's lots of other reasons you would use it, but that's one of them. Got it selected, right click, make clipping mask. Okay. All right, and that's what it looks like. So that was my red background and my little earth sandwich that was in the background that you couldn't see. And so that black shape, basically it's like a cookie cutter. Okay, that black rectangle, we use that to cut that design out. I'm going to move these out of the way just so we can see what we're doing. Okay, number 6 is very easy. Change the path or the stroke color to yellow. So I just want to make where the outside color is yellow. That's it. Okay, I've selected my object. I went up here to the top. If I did this one, that would be the inside color or the fill color. I want to change the outside color. All right, and I change that to yellow. Now I'm going to increase the stroke just so you can see it better. You don't have to do this, but if I just click these little arrows right here, up here by the stroke, then I can make that a little bit bigger. That's number 6. The rule of thirds. Okay, so the rule of thirds, I've got some pictures that I normally show, but they are not my pictures, and so I'm not going to show them on this video. But if you go look rule of thirds, you will see examples of this that really do a great job of explaining what this is. So basically, if you were to divide your picture into a third, then and having where your subject lines up on one of those points of division. Okay, so looking at this, I've got a third, and also in the other direction, a third. And basically it just says that if you make where your subject matter lines up on one of those thirds, on those lines there, and then that will give you a more visually interesting design. Okay, so that is the rule of thirds. So to do that, oh goodness gracious, sorry, I'm gonna have to redo this video, I'm pretty sure. So in order to do that, you just need to put the star on one of those points there. Okay. Delete all unused swatches. The reason you would do this, the reason you want to delete all the unused swatches, if I was sending a document to you and I don't want to have all of the colors that have ever existed on there, I just want to have the ones that are relevant to my brand. You know, I'm Coca-Cola and I don't want to have a whole bunch of other colors on there. These are the only colors we need to work with, right? So if that's the case, then I can delete all of my unused swatches. So in order to do that, first thing you have to do, let's go to our swatches panel. I'll pull this out just to show you what we're working with. So here's my swatches panel, and this is not part of this. There we go, sorry. There's some pieces that are not swatches. I didn't want to have that confused. I'll put it here on the white box, but you don't have to do it that way. I'm just doing it that so you can see it better. Click on the 3 little lines right here. First thing you have to do is select all of your unused swatches. Now that I've selected all the unused swatches, I'm going to click on the thing that looks like Oscar the Grouch's house and delete. Okay, and now you can see that's just those colors that we were working with earlier. And then number 9 says to make a new swatch. All right, so I'm going to, just like we did earlier with the symbols, if I click that little plus sign around there for make a new swatch. So this is set to CMYK. CMYK stands for cyan, yellow, magenta, and key, or black. I've always called it black, and then recently discovered out that the K doesn't actually stand for black. It stands for key. So anyway, but if you adjust the sliders to have more cyan or more magenta, then you will get a different result for your color here. You can name it. You can name it if you want to, but I'm just going to hit OK. And when I go to grade these, I will see that there is the one that you made that is a new swatch has that little white corner there. So I can tell that you made a new swatch when I look for that. Okay. And then the last thing, I'm going to hit the X just to hide that. The last thing is to change the artboard to landscape, all right? So we are going to, I'm going to move myself back up here. So we're going to use our artboard tool, okay? So right here, if you hover over that, that says artboard tool. If I click on that, you will see, just like we said in the first one, all this stuff up here at the top, right over here, has changed, right? So when I click off of it, let me go back to my selection tool. All of that stuff up at the top changes. So if I click on the artboard tool, that changes like that, okay? Portrait is, I've taken a portrait and it's going to hang above a fireplace and it's straight up and down. The long side is on the up and down part, right? And then if it is landscape, I want to take a picture of mountains or whatever, then you would have it where the longer part is at the top and bottom. Okay, so right now this document is set up in portrait. I want to change to landscape. Okay, so you can see that's definitely longer, right? So I'm going to select my artboard tool, and then if you go up here to the top, there's an option. This is portrait, and I can change it to landscape. All right, and you're looking at it like, wait a minute, am I supposed to have it with the pieces hanging off like that? Yes, that's why this was the last question, because that's what your document should look like. All right, I wanted you to learn how to do that skill. And it says if the artboard stops here, the artboard is in landscape mode. Okay, technically you could. That's not always true, but I tried to make it where if you followed that technique, then it would line up in the right spot. Okay, there's a lot of other things you can do with the artboard tool. I will be posting probably a video about that soon. Sorry. So I am probably going to upload this video now, and then I'm going to go to bed, and then I'm going to probably reshoot this video with me not yawning in it a whole bunch. So I'm sorry for that. I do apologize. It's been a long day. So anyway, I will, like I said, I'll post this and try to give you another version of it that is the exact same content, just a little bit more interesting. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. And volume 3 should be up maybe next week. Okay, thanks.